You know what? A perfectly acceptable Impact. I liked the main event. The opener was okay. There were a couple of things in there, but it was a perfectly acceptable Impact. It wasn't great. No. If I would say go out of your way to watch it, I'd probably say no. But if you're a big-time TNA fan, you're going to like this program. I'll give it a full thumbs up. I liked it more than I hated. It kicked off with the Hardys defending the TNA World Tag Team Champions against the Great Hands. I think this is the first time in 3 years that the Great Hands have had a 2-on-2 opportunity for the TNA Tag Team Champions. And this is something that Mustafa Ali, I think, went to Daria Ray for. I think that's the story. Sure, you know what? Fine, whatever. The Hardys beat them. I mean, it was pretty one-sided. I just don't know who can now face the Hardys. The System have a title rematch, I guess. We can do that for, a week or two because that's TNA. The Righteous don't deserve a damn thing because they have lost every single time. They have not earned it. We will talk about another team that I really do enjoy, but we'll cross that bridge later because it was actually part of the show. I'll give it an Orange Cassidy thumbs up. It was a fun opener, but once again, nothing to write home to mom about. The King's Speech's guest was Moose. Okay, sure. Frankie Kazarian is the last TNA OG standing, which is true. Moose is the face of the franchise, essentially. That's what he calls himself. Sure. Moose challenges Frankie Kazarian because they got into a back and forth. Okay, great. Frankie said no, but he's a heel, so fine. Out comes AJ Francis, who just was playing 1998 and not in a great way. There's a lot of potential here. Don't get me wrong. It's kind of weird that I always really credit AJ Francis for actually really getting this wrestling thing, but his promo work and his style just need a little more oomph. I'm not saying that he's bad. I'm just saying that he's sort of plateaued. Maybe a program with Moose will really bring out something different within AJ. Maybe something with Kazarian will too. I just have no idea. Perfectly fine. Totally skippable. Orange Cassidy, thumbs up. That's the best I can do. What I'm really liking about the TNA Knockouts TV tournament is we're seeing new people. We have this Veneto girl. She was fine. The match itself was okay against Indy Hartwell. Not necessarily groundbreaking, not memorable by any means. Perfectly acceptable for a TNA show. It was a Hurts donut for Indy to win. I'm still trying to figure out if it's Hurts don't it or Hurts donut like the food. Because in my notes it says one thing, but then I see other things with different articles that say Hurts don't it, which makes more sense to me, not Hurts donut. It's really strange. I'll give an Orange Cassidy thumbs up. I'll be nice. I will say the second match was infinitely better, but once again, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. I alluded to a tag team that I'm really starting to dig, and this is the match that I was alluding to. And I'm talking about Ricky Sosa and Leon Slater, the two young guys that TNA really are looking at to build the company around for the future. And this was a strong way to do it. If Leon Slater isn't going to be part of the X Division anymore, and we're introducing Ricky Sosa back into the audience, you don't want to throw them into the main event scene and call it a day. We need to slowly integrate. We need to see if they can connect. And actually, they're a fairly decent tag team. Now, keep in mind of who they're sharing the ring with really made them look great, but they were the focus of this match. And Lord knows this tag team division needs new faces, and this is a good start. I think maybe a tournament akin to the Knockouts TV tournament would be really good here, but you know what? This is what they're doing, and I don't necessarily hate it. It's just potential for something maybe a little bit different. I'll give this an Orange Cassidy thumbs up. This is the first tag team match that I'm fully aware of with Ricky Sosa and Leon Slater as a team. So, right now, we're just not 100% sure, but so far, so good. It is no mystery that I am not a fan of Jody Threat, just at all. But this was probably her best match that I have seen in a long time. Not because she's a better wrestler, it's because of Gabby Forza. So I liked her promo talking about gnomes. I know it's very ridiculous, but it shows character. I like her moveset. She is a larger, she's not like a big girl, but she's definitely thicker, and she wrestles that way. And I was like, wow, I was very impressed. TNA, sign her. Sign Forza now if you haven't yet. Cody Threat won the match, but this was a damn good match. So it gets a full thumbs up from me. I was shocked. Not only does Forza have a fun personality and a good character, but she can wrestle really damn well. This is very rare. Just naturally like this. Is this pushing KC Navarro into the main event scene and justifying it? Kind of. Essentially, KC Navarro said what the hell to Nic after the attack last week. And Nic pretty much tells KC that he's good, but not good enough to share the ring with the world champion. Nic Nemeth attacks KC from behind, and Nic gets in the ring and essentially warns him, stop messing with my family, stay in your lane, and stay away from me. I think KC is perfectly acceptable as a main eventer. I'm liking that TNA are trying something a little bit different. It's something that they definitely need to do right now. There's a lot of good working parts and pieces here. Did I imagine KC Navarro in this position in a program with the TNA World Champion? No, not at all. I thought AJ was actually going to get there before anybody else from, First Class. But here's where we are. Don't hate it. Don't love it. Still effective. Orange Cassidy, thumbs up. Main event time. No disqualification for the TNA Knockouts World Champion, Xia Brookside, defending against Yǐng. This should have been the match at Slammiversary. Why was this on a regular television show and not at Slammiversary? Not the match itself, because obviously they had the match at Slammiversary. I'm talking about the stipulation, the no disqualification. It's just like they got it ass backwards. The rivalry, I thought, was white hot going into Slammiversary. So the no disqualification would have made more sense there. This was a good match, don't get me wrong. I really liked this match. And Xia Brookside retained. Full thumbs up. But they just got the stipulations backwards. Maybe we'll see a 3. I don't know. But Xia beat Lee twice. They definitely need more contenders for the Knockouts World Champion, but maybe outside of Indy Hartwell, I can't think of anybody else right now.